Oh no, where am I? The Impatient review for the PlayStation VR. Let's begin! First up, let's take a look at the gameplay. You are a patient at Blackwood Sanatorium. You have no idea who you are or why you are there. At the start of the game you can select whether you want to be male or female, which is a nice touch. When playing with a DualShock controller, you move around the world like you would normally in a first person game. But when you pick up an object, you actually use the DualShock's motion sensor to move it around and inspect it. It doesn't feel great to be honest, and it does feel like you are loosely controlling a puppet. Playing with the move controllers is very frustrating at times. To walk forward you simply push the move button, but to turn left and right you must move the controller in that direction. It takes a while to get used to, but the main problem is your character's arm movements. When turning left and right it looks like you are signalling to go left or right like you would on a bicycle. It's very distracting and immersion breaking. The arm movements just don't feel natural overall, and it is a slight task just to simply pick up an object. Some objects in the world you can't interact with when they appear like they can be grabbed, which is a real shame. The game has a choice system called the butterfly effect. This is when characters present you with two dialogue choices. Choosing one will change how the story unfolds. You can activate a choice in two ways. You can select it like you would normally with a controller, or you can actually speak the sentence. Speaking the sentence did work for me for the majority of the time, but when it didn't, it obviously did take me out of the world. Although the game does have choices, how you get from point A to point B is very linear. However, now and then you are able to explore a few wider areas, but don't get too excited, as these areas are normally only an extra room or two, leading off from a main corridor. The game does encourage a bit of exploration, thanks to shiny memories scattered around. Activating a memory transports you into the past and you see an event play out. These obviously give you a better understanding of the character's motives and also serve as the game's collectibles, which you can keep track of in the main menu. Overall there isn't too many gameplay elements. You'll either be listening to a character and deciding on a choice, or walking sometimes for quite long periods of time, and the pacing is all over the place. It does have some decent jump scares, but towards the ends I unfortunately didn't find the game too scary. Now let's take a look at how immersive the Impatient is. The sanatorium is quite believable, but the world isn't anywhere near as detailed as Rush of Blood's. It is quite empty in comparison. The ends of corridors can be quite blurry, and if there is something at the end of it that should be scary, the fear is lost slightly if it is blurred. The world is quite dark in the beginning, which is a shame if you like to explore every corner of a game. Luckily later on you do get a torch, and the shadows that cast are very good. It is a very creepy atmosphere. Adding to the atmosphere is the absolutely incredible sound design. The game has 3D binaural audio and quite often it plays tricks on you. There are moments when you hear growls or a person speaking. It sounds like it is really coming from behind you and then suddenly switches to the side of you. It makes you incredibly uneasy when walking through the hallways. The audio is certainly a standout part of the game.
Using control, using power.
Another nice audio element is the correct sound that is heard when your hands collide with a certain material. It's only a minor detail, but it does help to make the world more believable.
Treatments ever get any easier?
When you enter a memory, a light flashes just before and it is extremely bright. It did actually hurt my eyes, and when I got used to when they were going to happen, I did have to close my eyes in advance. It really should have been a smoother transition. For the most part, the loading screens are not too intrusive and are bearable times, but there is an elevator segment that has many loading screens that pop up. They are very brief, but it was immersion breaking and really did take me out of the event that was occurring. The characters really are quite forgettable. The Doctor is really the only standout character in the game. His voiceovers are superb and I really want to spend more time with him. His facial animations are quite believable, but the other characters don't seem to have had the same love and care.
You do understand I want what's best for you.
Now let's take a look at the setup and what controllers the game supports. I played this game in a seated position just under 2 meters away from the camera. The head tracking was perfect and the game did not make me motion sick. In the options menu you have access to subtitles, can turn voice recognition on or off, and you can turn on angle turning or smooth turning. The game can be played with a DualShock controller or 2 Move controllers. If you do decide to play with the Move controllers, it really is best to stand, so that you have a lot more free space with your arm movements. Now let's take a look at the length of the game and what trophies come with it. It took me around 2 hours and 10 minutes to beat the game. The game does have multiple endings, but after your first completion there is no chapter select screen that unlocks, and you must play through the whole game again for another ending. I wasn't prepared to go through it all again to see them. I did however watch them on the internet, and without giving anything away, one ending will be a nice little shock for Until Dawn fans, but honestly, the hassle of going through the whole game again to see it, and the other endings, are just not worth it. The game does have a platinum trophy up for grabs, but you will have to play the game multiple times to achieve it. In total there are 22 trophies that can be achieved. There is 4 bronze, 10 silver, 7 gold, and 1 platinum. I won't show the trophies as most of them have story related descriptions. A lot of them are rewarded for making a certain decision, but some are for interacting with a particular object in the world, and one is for collecting all of the memories, which should add a bit more gameplay time as long as you can put up with the character's walking speed. And now it's time for the verdict. So does the Inpatient live up to the hype? Unfortunately, no. The game is incredibly short, which shouldn't be a problem considering the game is meant to be played numerous times, but the game failed to entice me to do so, thanks to a very bland cast of characters, apart from one, who doesn't make too much of an appearance. Choices do affect whether or not a character dies, but when you don't care for them, the incentive to replay the whole game again to see them live is lost, and for players' walking speed does not help matters. There is a few good moments here for horror fans, and I was very scared at times thanks to the absolutely incredible sound design. I haven't been so scared in a game thanks to the audio since Hellblade. I just wish the same love and care had gone into the player's arm movements and overall control scheme. Rush of Blood was an amazing game. It lasts for around the same time as the Inpatient and costs less than half the asking price. If Supermassive decide to visit the Until Dawn universe again in VR, I will certainly strap up for another rollercoaster ride, but if they want me to strap into a straitjacket for the Inpatient 2, I think I really would be crazy to do so. Oh no, where am I? No, I haven't. I've never felt better. We need to leave right now. You can't keep me here. If you can't catch me. Fairies never get ill. What do you guys think of the Inpatient? A lot of you had it pre-ordered, so I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Do you think it was a letdown? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give the video a thumbs up and also subscribe for more PlayStation VR content.